All right, everyone, welcome to our first Jonesing professional meeting. We are going to be having these 2 times a month at noon on Wednesdays. We know that not everyone can be on at noon on Wednesdays, but we wanted to work more with the day and then have a recording for those of you that couldn't come on during the day. So if you're watching the replay or the recording, hello to you too. These are meetings for people that are premier and above in Tiffany or mine's organization. I should just say Tiffany's organization because I'm under there. And they are really just kind of a level up of training for us as we are, you know, the top of Tiffany's team and really the people pushing and growing and the leaders of this organization. And we are really, really trying to create a tribe of our team, which we already have a pretty awesome tribe, right? We're all good friends and we all are supporting one another, but just even more so creating a purposeful tribe and connecting and, you know, following through and going towards all of our goals. And we want to see momentum and change and growth. And so today's call, I am going to just kind of be going over, I know Tiffany and I have been thinking about this for a while, but we just kind of put it into play this past month. And so we want to just make sure everyone's on the same page on what we're providing and what we're doing for the team. And then also talk a little about where you are in your organization and just talk about a few other things as we're going on. For these calls, we are going to try to bring in different people. So I'm working with a coach and she's going to do a call with us. I've got Dan, who's our regional manager, that's going to do a call with us. So kind of just up-level training for all of us, okay, to keep growing in momentum. Does that sound good? All right. So I am just going to go right into just kind of showing the launch page and the Jonesing Professional group so you kind of are all on the same page. And feel free, I mean, this is super informal too, right? So ask questions. I can hear you. You guys are all unmuted. We don't need to, I mean, you guys can unmute yourselves if you wanted to say something. I guess you're muted right now, but if you need to, just go ahead and do that, okay? All right. So I'm going to share my screen. And you can see that, right, everybody? I go into my, can I get a thumbs up? You can see my screen, right? Okay, good. All right, so I've had my own kind of pages with doTERRA and kind of Tiffany did as well. So what we've done is I'm keeping my educational page, my There's an Oil organization page, because I have all my people from my team on that. And Tiffany's keeping the Jonesing educational page that you can add all your people to. But what we decided to do is combine kind of our training and kind of narrow it down because over the past 5 years, it's gotten kind of bigger and there hasn't necessarily been, you know, we didn't know who was really in and we kind of wanted to get concise and clear on who was really doing the businesses. So we created 2 different kind of pages and 2 different groups, okay? So the first one is, sorry, I didn't have it up already, the Jonesing Launch Group, okay? Jonesing Builders is going to go away. Okay, we're not going to have that anymore, but this is what's replacing it, okay? It's a little bit more detailed. So the Jonesing Launch Group is for anyone that is working their business 3 to 5 hours a week, okay? It is going to be a page that, I'm trying to think if here, I'm going to screenshot. I'm not the best with this. Okay, so here is the rules right here. Anyone on your teams that are working 3 to 5 hours a week, they are committed to getting at least 1 enrollment a month, and they are committed to supporting their qualifiers and whoever's coming into their business, okay? So there's not a lot of huge requirements in this group. These are for people that are starting their business out, that are going to do 3 to 5 hours a week, that if they are bringing people on, that they're gonna, you know, work with them and help them. And we just really want to encourage 1 enrollment a month. I'm sorry, a week would be kind of cool. Okay, so we want to encourage the enrollment a month because we know that means they're doing activity. We'll check on this. You know, if there's a certain amount of months that they're not doing that, then we'll remove them because you really should be getting at least 1 enrollment a month as you're growing your business. Okay, so that we thought was one kind of qualification. Through this group, we will be doing a lot of education. We're not going to bombard it, but we are doing the units, which are on this page, which is basically Eddie's Skill Up. Okay. So the idea of this is that you can send anybody through this training at any time as you bring them on. So as you bring new builders on and as your builders bring people on, they can take them through this 14-day launch, okay? We are doing a live launch right now with community, but we are not doing it every single month, okay? We're doing it in October. I think we might do it again at the beginning of the year. These are going to be because we do them every single month, it's not going to have the momentum that it has. I mean, we have 36 people in this one, okay? So, but the idea is that you can bring anyone through the launch personally, and they can go to this and go to the units and do the 14-day training along with you, whether in person or working it on their own and getting back to you. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. So with that, are there any questions so far?
Yes, I have a question, Lisa.
Yes.
Okay, so I see you're doing the calls, and right now there's like a chunk of calls. It's like 4 weeks. If you have somebody that joins like mid one of like these months, is it okay for them to just jump on? Is this something that's going to be ongoing all year long? Are calls going to be going on, or is it going to be monthly? I'm just thinking, like, as I'm finding builders, how do I tell them what to follow and how to follow as soon as we add them to the page and they answer the questions?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, no, they can just jump on whenever they want. Just know that we're doing them, like, we are not going to do these monthly, right? So we're doing this first one monthly. We wanted to kind of see how it went. We wanted a lot of you to get in it because we know a lot of you haven't gone through the 14-day training. So that's why we're doing that right now. But this is meant that, if someone just starts, they can jump into week 2. They might have to go back on their own and do the days beforehand, okay? You could do the 14-day training in a couple of days if you want. We're breaking it up, making it a month long, okay, kind of as we go through this, because we know accountability is a huge piece, right? I know I've lost 15 pounds the past couple months because I'm accountable to my mom all the time. I send her what I'm eating every single day, back and forth. So we know accountability is important. We know, if you have a call, you're going to get things done before you get on the call. That's why we're doing that. And like I said, we're not doing that every single month, I don't think. But the whole idea is when you bring a new builder up, you can plug them into that call if we're doing them that month, or you just plug them into the training. You just plug them into the units and the training. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you can just add them anytime. They're going to have a launch system that they can follow the units at their own pace. But if they want to be on the calls for the accountability, that's like an extra perk, and they can do that if they want. Is that right? Yeah,
let's say you find a builder, someone's like, oh, I want to do the builder. Okay, well, they're doing calls right now. You can jump on. It might be in the middle, but it's still going to be beneficial, right? It's ideal if they start at the very beginning, but they should be able to start from the prepare and go through on their own. That's just another element. The whole idea is we want to make this duplicatable, right? So when Rebecca finds a new builder, she's like, all right, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go into the Jonesing launch group. You're committed to work the 3 to 5 hours a week. And I want you to go to the units, and I want you to start with preparing to launch. And I want you to go through that. And then I'm going to talk to you about it. Or, you're doing it with them, right next to them, okay? We're doing these big groups because we knew at this point of the business, we knew there was a whole bunch of people right now that needed to go through this, and we wanted to keep the momentum going. This is the time in our business where October, November, December, we want you all to rank advanced work, pushing more for it.
I have one more question. I know I went through the 14-day before. I'm going to go back in and look at it again. But as far as somebody who is starting and we're launching them, and they want to do their classes right away, should we suggest that they wait and watch these before they start with their classes? Should they just go ahead? What do you suggest after looking through all of this?
Me personally, I would just do the class, and then be going through this. If they're ready to do a class and you're there to help them, I would just go and do the class. If they're like somewhere in another city and they've never done a class before and you can't get to them and model one, it might be good for them to watch it. I mean, before I ever did my first class, there was no training system, right? I watched I can't remember her name, Callie Williams or something. I don't remember her name. I watched her and did a class. So like this is bonus, right? I didn't have any of this stuff, nor did you, right? So if you can get someone to do a class, start doing the classes with them if you're local to them. They don't need to go through this 14 days before they have a class. That make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
and this is a great way if someone's not in another place, like, hey, take a look at step whatever before you do your class or something like that too. So we're really familiar with it. Good. Any other questions? Okay. So that's
actually I do. Please.
Oh, yes.
So that you guys did that video, the Zoom on Monday night, yesterday, or the other night. And did you guys record it by any chance?
We did record it, yes. So it's in right now. It's in the preparing to launch, and it is right here. If you missed the 10/8/18 call and are able to view the replay, click on this link. So if you did have people that missed it, you could totally send them this link.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Yes. So please do send them that link. And we don't know if we're keeping these videos up for all time. I guess we're keeping them up for the sequence, and we probably will not have them, right? So we might keep the videos. We don't know. We're just kind of trying to figure it all out right now. But just know that this is where we want to put new builders into this group. Right now in the about the discussion part, there's like lots of things as Tiffany's uploading things. This is just as she's uploading all the new things. But this isn't going to be on the page forever, okay? There's no way to put the units in without putting all of these things right now. So right now it looks kind of busy as she's adding the new things for the steps, but that's going to go, that's not going to be there forever. It's just that the way you have to, if you're going to put units in, it's just going to go through there. So when you send people this page, you send them to the units and you get them started. Now, some of people were asking like how to get this actual link right here to join. So do all of you know how to like log in to Eddie and Angela's training and then add a builder? Okay. Because Tiffany and I don't want to be adding all these builders. So we want you to be able to log in. So you just log into your own 14-day skill up training, and then there's a little button that says add builder, right? So there's a few people here that said like, there's even people on my team, right? That I have to tell them like, okay, you need to go to your skill up page and then add the builders, so that we're not the ones adding the builders all the time. So if you have people on here that haven't been added, you just need to go to your own skill up page and then add the builder. And maybe we can make that more clear too, like where that is if people don't know how to log in somewhere. So I'll talk to Tiffany about that, because I had a couple of people saying like, I don't even know how to go to the website to add a builder. So I think we need to put that somewhere. And then when people go through the units, then they are, for example, the prepare. So we have people, there's the prepare section. And then here was like the first task. This is the first thing people are supposed to be going through. Step 1, here you go. And then people were already commenting. They had to post their planners, right? And then they click, I'm done. Okay. So we can see those people already did that in the prepare section. Now section 2, we don't have that many comments on that one, but we're starting to kind of get through that. And so we gave them homework to do, like, I can't remember what it was, preparation in step 1 and 2, I think, for next Monday. But this is for you. We're doing this for you and us, right? We're doing it as a way to help you get your builders going and moving and excited. And we know in big groups of people, there's more inspiration, there's more momentum. So we're doing this to create a system for you and for us to bring new builders through. Because as we know, we can't do this alone. We need builders going through this. And so that's what we're trying to do and get people going.
I really like that you did the units. I like how people then can find it easily. So
yes, we had it, and that's thanks to Tiffany. She's done all the back work on all this stuff. She purchased the program for us, and she did all the units for this. So we have her to thank for that in going through this. So it's a great tool for us, guys. It's a great tool for us to add people in, and it's not too overwhelming, right? People can go through it really fast, or they can go through it in a month. And I said on the call the other night, I took somebody through this, and they did their own class. They enrolled everyone. They set up LRPs. I have to help them with anything after they went through this LRP.
Hey, Lisa.
She's like 70. I taught her. She watched it. Yeah. What? Yes.
Lisa, it's Chris. Sorry, I'm on my phone, so I can't see your screen. Can you read off what the web address is for the Skill Up site?
The web address for the Skill Up site. So I don't have that. It's not actually on here. Does anybody know it? I don't have it. I don't have it. And so that's what I think we need to put on here, because it's not actually, Tiffany has a thing where we can get your email so we can sign you up. So you have to be signed
Right.
up. Does anybody have it
I
handy?
do. I have it bookmarked, so I can just put it in the
Comments?
group. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a note to have that somewhere because I think it's hard
Okay.
for people to know where that is. 'Cause I don't know if I heard either, and someone asked me, I'm like, I don't know what it is. So
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay.
have you done the 14-day training? Have you logged in?
I've logged in before, but I haven't done it. So I'm going back through it because I was on the launch call. So I'm going to go back through and work through it with my builders. But
Great.
yeah, I don't know the specific web address just to get there directly. So, okay. If Katie
Yes.
puts that up, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and then maybe somewhere we'll put that in this group too, because that wasn't very clear on here. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I know that's
Okay. Thanks.
Yep, you're welcome. Any other questions about the purpose of this page, how we're going to use it, our intention, how you can use it?
I have a question that just popped in my mind. So if somebody is not on Facebook, which I like this because you have the actual website and then you actually have the Facebook. So Facebook, you have a lot more advantage because you've got a group and it's a community setting. Besides that, is there anything else that the person would be missing out on if they didn't have Facebook and decided to just go through the 14-day? Like, should we add anything or tell them about anything specific?
I don't really think so. I mean, the purpose of them is to go through the 14-day training and to follow up with you and learn the skills. I mean, the thing with the Facebook page is it's all like in, one central place and you can, the motivation of the others and seeing the other people's things. But I mean, when I did the 14-day training, I did it individually with people. So it's meant to be able to do it that way. We're just, doing it in this group format. So it's all in one place.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, the purpose of the 14-day training is to get people doing their business, so whatever you think that person personally needs, maybe there might be something, but really it's just to get them doing the activities, finishing it and getting through it, and then start doing the activities.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there was something that we should be responsible for letting them know or doing.
No, I don't think so.
Yes,
No.
Suggestions. Okay, thank you.
There's nothing extra. No. Any other questions? Okay, so really quickly, before people can get added to this page, what you need to do is, we don't want you just adding people to this page, okay? Make sure you obviously you know this, but all your builders, that we're just not adding people to this page. You want to send them the link to sign up themselves, okay? Because we want them to take the initiative to say, yes, I want to join this Joinsing launch page, and there's questions that they have to ask. All of you answer questions, right? Well, unless we added you, but it should have been like that you're going to commit to working 3 to 5 hours a week, X, Y, Z. So don't just add people to this group. Send them the link to add themselves so then they can answer the 3 questions to verify they're going to do the things that are going to be in this group. And that's just our method to make sure that people's intentions are clear for being in this group. Does that make sense?
Lisa?
Yeah.
Do you mean send them the link, the Jonesing launch group link?
Yes.
You're not talking, okay, I just want to make sure you didn't mean the skill up.
Yeah, the skill ups, yeah, the whole different thing, right? They're going to do that if people can be in this Jonesing launch group and not do the skill up.
Okay, but the idea is probably to really encourage them to do the skill up. It's not mandatory.
Right.
But
This is replacing builders. So people like in their new business, they might be asking like questions on this page, like what do I do when X, Y, Z? So it's kind of replacing the builders page. So they have to be working their business 3 to 5 hours to be in this group, and it's going to be a resource for them. But the skill up is like the most important component of this, because that's what we want people to go through. That's a good distinction. So, but in order for people to join this page, we want to send them the link, and then we want them to take the initiative to join the page.
got it.
So those of you that are kind of trying to add people last minute, we just couldn't do that because they had to answer the 3 to 5 questions. So you can look, and I don't know if you can see it or if it's just I can see it, like members or people who are wanting to join or whatever. I don't know if I just see that because I'm a admin or whatever, but we'll reach out to you if we notice like someone's been sitting there for a long time that hasn't answered the questions. I don't know if you can do that. Can you see like who's trying to join? Or just me? I don't know on that one. But just do that as well. And then if people over time, they're not doing the 3 to 5 hours a week, then we can just tell them like, hey, you haven't done the 3 to 5 hours, or you haven't done the enrollment, just go to use the Jonesing education page for now. All right, cool. Everyone clear on that? You excited about this? Yes? Do you feel like I feel it's a good step and a good place for where we need to go just to be more duplicatable, because that's what we need really. We need people doing the business and getting in there and learning how to do the things, all the things that they need to do. And really the things in the 14-day training are all the things that we are all doing constantly to keep our businesses moving forward, right? Names, list, classes, enrolling, asking for the business opportunity. All right. So that's where this page of Jonesing Builders is going to go away. I don't know at what point. So this will replace that. Okay. So this page, the professional page, is all of you. So Jonesing Professionals. And so this will be for premiers and above. And so same kind of things. People had to answer the questions. And so this is, we want you working 10 plus hours a week, which I know many of us are doing them then more. And then we want you to fill out your rank tracker each month by the first of the month. And so there is, I'll show you in a second, in the photos, there are, I'll go back to that in a second. There is a place for you to put your rank trackers, okay? So we want you doing those by the beginning of the month. We're going to talk about those in a little bit. Where is the discussion, guys? Sorry. Did I just lose the discussion? Where was that? Dun, dun, dun. Here it is, sorry. And then we want you to be on these calls, or after 48 hours, comment that you have watched this call, okay? So those of you that are watching the replay, just comment that you watched the actual call. And then we want you to commit to at least one minimum enrollment a month, because obviously we want you getting your premier bonus, but also you should be having no problem getting one person a month. And then we're gonna commit to personal development. We selected a book, which I'll talk about, and then just helping out with the team type stuff. So the book that we are choosing, we're choosing like a book every month for us to read. So we chose, I don't know if you saw, it's The Great Leap, or The Big Leap, sorry, I almost said that, I was going to say The Great Leap, The Big Leap. The reason why I picked that book is in the Diamond page, people were asking like what was the biggest motivational book for them to get them kind of going in their business. And that was one of the ones that was suggested. And I had read it, but it's talking about upper limits. Has anyone read that one before? Katie's saying yes. A little bit, Jen. Okay. So we are going to discuss the book. So obviously that's what we want you to read this month, and then we'll have a discussion, either like discussion question, or people we might ask about like, how's it going? What are your insights so far in this book? But we just want to keep that professional reading going, and a month can go by and you're like, oh, I didn't even pick up a book or anything like that. So we just wanted to find books that we think are going to be beneficial for you. If you have suggestions too, of course, we want to hear them, where you think there's a book that we should read, but just something to kind of keep us moving forward, kind of on the same page. And we are going to take a look at like some of the ranked books for silver and gold, and like what doTERRA suggests. So just kind of, so by the end of the year, we've read 12 books together, and we can look back and use that knowledge, for ourselves, for our life, for the world, for our team. So what do you think about that? Because we just kind of said we're doing that, but how do you feel about that?
I like that. I need accountability when it comes to books and audiobooks. There's a lot I want to read and a lot I have on my shelf, and I need to read them again. And so I've kind of started some of them and didn't finish some of them. Some of them I've read, so it's good. I like it. Okay, good. And so we just want, if you don't read, we want you to read the whole book, right? But we just want you to have, sometimes you just take one or two things away. You read something for like 10 minutes and you take one or two things away, and you start to implement it into your life, and that can create big change, right? So we just always want to be filling our mind. We know mindset's such a big thing, and we always want to be, creating this space for what a book has to tell us, and what's, some knowledge from someone else can bring into our life to help ourselves and our team. Okay? Does anybody have any questions like what the requirements of this group, or who can be added to this group? Who wants to have team members added to this group very soon?
Right? That's the goal, right? We want to give people in Jonesy professionals. It's like a privilege and it's an honor. And you guys have worked your tails off to be here. So be proud of yourselves because you worked hard to be on this page and be part of this group. And we just really, you're our upper level. So I was talking with a coach today and she was saying, you have the 20-60-20 rule. I don't know if has anyone heard this before? You've got on your team, you've got the 20% of the people that are your top performers, right? Those are the ones that they're doing the things, they're doing really great. Then you've got your 60% are the people that you're working with and they're doing things and they need the most support, right? And then you've got your bottom 20% where you shouldn't be spending any time with them. So I encourage you to kind of make your own 20-60-20 list. Like who's in your top 20 on your team? Who's in your 60 of your team, and who's in your 20 that you don't want to spend your energy on, okay? Because if you're spending your energy on your bottom 20, you got a problem, right? You're not going to be moving very fast. And so make that list and know that like you are a top 20 team. You're going, we're going to check in, support you, kind of make sure things are going, but we want to spend the most time on that 60. And that's what that Jonesing launch group is, right? And we want to spend a lot of time on that group and help them get to the next 20. There might be people in your 60 group that are on the top of that list that you're trying to move to the 20% group too, okay? So that's something really, really important to think about, and that's kind of when we're thinking about these groups, like you guys are our top 20 to 60, and then we've got the people that, they're just probably not in terms of the business opportunity, they're probably just our users, which are really important, but we're not going to spend a lot of time developing the business with them, right? Does that make sense? Well, that was kind of a cool concept, right? Okay. So that is this group right here. Any questions with this group, how it's going to work, what the expectations are? Your rank trackers, does everyone use the new rank tracker in your back office? Do you know how to do that?
Lisa, can I ask you a quick question about that?
Yeah.
So I did rank tracker old school way, and then I did it, just writing it out, counting, doing all that. Then I did it with doTERRA and was way off. And I thought I was doing it pretty accurately when I did it myself. Has anyone else run into that? And I was way off, like it was saying the shortage was much more than what I came up with my shortage. So do you have any thoughts for that? I don't want to spend a lot of time on it.
That's okay. That's a good question because it's a new tool. And when I did it too, I thought, well, this does not seem right. I think it's just calculating what is already gone through in your orders and not necessarily.
And the LRPs that are set to run.
Yeah. And and they're not necessarily, it's calculating those. But I felt like it was off too when I did mine for Diamond. It was like the numbers were pretty skewed. So I don't know if it's a new tool and how it's working, but.
Okay. Katie, did you say they are supposed to include current LRPs that are going to run?
Yeah, but I don't know, like if they're looking at what the LRP was the prior month, if it's calculating that or it's calculating the next LRP run. So
the person maybe has
I haven't looked at it that closely, but I'm assuming that it's pulling that information from somewhere on, the history.
When I watched that little video that, is with the rank tracker, it did say that. It says it's calculating the current LRPs coming up. So
that's what I thought. You know what? I'm going to do it again. And then if I'm still off, I'll call my manager and see because.
Yeah, it's a new tool. So we can, I can inquire about that in the Diamonds group too and just see if it seems to be on for people because it's a new tool. So if anything like that, you think it's like, it's numbers, it's a machine, so it's like, it's calculating what's there, so it seems like.
It seems like I'm the one that would be wrong.
Yeah. And I felt like my numbers were way off too. So that's a good question.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But use it, we can figure out if it is an accurate tool. It's very nice because it just does it right for us. Right. So, but make sure you're doing that. So we're going to talk about in a minute, like our numbers, like we're at the 10th of the month. So like looking at where we're at and where we need to go, we're going to get to that in a minute. But use those. And so also be doing that. And then also we want to spend time talking about a few things that we see as patterns. So make sure there'll be a question for the call of that week too. And so we'll be just kind of instead of everyone just kind of talking and sharing where they are in their life, we want to be like kind of more specific. And so we might just talk about some themes or just talk to a couple people about things that are going on too. Okay. We're trying to run things very efficiently and just clearly and beneficial for everybody. Okay, so everyone kind of clear with the groups and what's and how they're working and what to do and how to get all your people plugged in, right? Good. Okay, so the next thing I do want to talk about is you. So you have a time to talk here. So we are at the 10th of the month, and it's great big promotion going on. You know that if you want to rank advance, now is the time, girls. October, November, December, if you're going to rank advance, it's going to be in these months, okay? It's, I mean, not saying you can't do it in the other months, but like these are your months to rank advance. Like I'm looking at my stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to hit diamond October, November, December, right? Like I have the numbers are there. I'm going forward. I'm looking where I need to have classes. I'm looking where the holes are. These are your months to do it. And so not only do you need to be looking at where your holes are, you need to be like planning events and all of your things in these months too. So tell me where you are with that. And tell me, you know, where you are with your goals right now this month and like where you think you have to go or what kind of you know, what you've got planned moving forward or where you might need some advice for that.
I'll go.
Okay.
I only have one class for October. The rest of the month, as of right now, I have one class and it's at my home that I'm hosting. And then one confirmed one-on-one left. I had like 4 last week and I've already had 2 this week. So it's just been an interesting month. Like I had mentioned, I'm struggling finding people to say yes to hosting classes. And so I'm just really pushing past it, working on it, you know, coming up with different ideas. I'm changing some things with what I'm focusing on with my business. I'm going more towards the skincare route and using my just career as an esthetician to kind of switch things up a bit. So there's some exciting things I think really happening and some movement I'm seeing. I feel like I'm in a little bit of transition though, figuring it out. So it's not that I feel discouraged at all. I'm actually probably more encouraged than I have been in months and months and months. But it's funny when you write down and then it's like, okay, what do you have? I don't actually have a lot to say that is scheduled necessarily, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. I would love to hit gold by December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
There's some things in motion to make that happen. And sometimes this business, it's time, right? And waiting. So I'm there's a possibility that someone's going to be gifted to me that could just change a lot in such a great, amazing way. So we're waiting on that. There's another person that has stopped ordering for 6 months and we're nearing her time and she wants to build. We're nearing her time. She can reactivate with me. And then just some of this business switch that I'm doing. So that's kind of where I am.
Yeah.
Not a lot on paper, but I feel like there's been incredible alignment happening and I'm just beyond like just feeling blessed, excited, like motivated. Like I feel like I can't even, my mind and the creativity is finally like coming together.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm sticking with what I know. So anyway, that's
great. I mean, I think with doing that, I've seen you on Instagram and your posts. So I definitely see like that happening. And that's awesome to see you going into finding your niche. Cause I think that's really important for all of us. And I love how you've taken, you know, what you love and your passion and combining them. And I do agree. Like sometimes there's a transition month, you know, transition months or time going into that. But if you want to hit goal, I heard you say you want to hit goal by December. So I think keep doing all that. Cause I mean, that's going to, you know, in the long run, it's going to align you. And you said these things are all in motion. I would just encourage you to, and as those things come through are great, it's, you know, waiting on those things, but just look at your numbers and where you are. And like, it is like almost, it's a numbers game. You know, you have to be like, all right, I need this much here. Like I have to get this volume somewhere. So I either have to have like a class, or I have to get someone on that team to host a class for me. And you just have to kind of, if you really want to do it by December, you just got, if you've got teams that are fine, let them be fine and go work with where you need the numbers and work with that team. Either it's bringing new people in or it's working with that team right there and just really focus on where those legs need to be. That makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
And looking at your tree, it's kind of, it's obvious where like the numbers are where you're gonna need the numbers. And so just, I think, I know Jen, we were talking about, a lot of you, if you watch Dana Moore, her Tipster Tuesday was, you know, really great a couple weeks ago, where she was talking about getting the people that love oils on those teams together and asking them, hey, can we be a referral partner? Can you refer people to me and I'll give you a free oil? Or are you open to hosting a class for me? And kind of going towards those people and asking them too. I think it's a constant form of asking. It's just got to be constant asking people, constant asking different people, asking people again. It takes a lot of time, but I think if you can just narrow where, can you tell me on your team where, do you know on your team where you need to put the focus on to get there by December?
Yes, I've for sure started working on all that. I mean, it's an extremely lofty, big goal.
It's all right. It's all right,
But
right? You gotta shoot for something.
it is a goal of mine. But yes, it's so Nicole's leg. Kelly, if Kelly is, it almost would have to be that Kelly is gifted to me. If
Okay.
Nicole agrees to that, then Kelly already is premier.
Oh, okay.
So now there's a couple months she's a little bit short, but basically Kelly's leg or Nicole's leg, whatever, that's good. So it's my other two legs of Carrie Bowman, and we have one builder under her. He's not my qualifier, but one guy going, and then I'm putting a lot of like my volume.
Yep.
For another leg.
Yep.
And then the third is Aubrey's leg. I have Francine, who some of you may have met at convention. She is an extremely busy traveling mother, CEO at Cigna, but is saying that she wants to be doing this. And so there would be some movement and volume over on that leg. But again, all of my like volume out of there too. So
yeah, key in with those people, you know, all those names that you said, key in with them and make sure, you know, let them know what you're going for. And you have to be a parent to them. Like, I am going, you know, I'm going for this, and I'm going to do my best to get here. Like, what can we do? What can we pull together to get to this goal, you know? And just really laser focus in on that. If that's, you know, where you want to be by December, it's definitely possible with the upcoming months. And the more volume you bring in October, that means more than November, because they're going to do the BOGOs, and then they're, you know, it's all, you know, right now is a huge month to get people in and going, and because we know November BOGO holiday, and then we know December frankincense. It's just, you know, the more that you can bring in and schedule, the better. Yeah, it's just keying in on those people and just really kind of like staring at your tree for a long time, and then like figuring out who like the major orders are. And like Dana, like I said, Dana Moore did something where she got a bunch of people together over the computer or live and just asked like, hey, do you have people that you can refer to me type situation too. So there's lots of different avenues for that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sounds like on a good track though. So
Okay.
it's going to happen.
I have a question kind of based on what you were just talking about with Dana Moore.
Just a second, Katie. It looks like you're like, the wind is just blowing.
I know, I was going to say something.
Like a model shoot or something like that over there? Okay, go ahead.
I've got a fan and no, I've got my window open here.
I'm like, wow, no, that's cute. It's like,
okay, so I saw that thing on that Dana Moore did, and I have like a big following of customers or people that love the BOGOs.
Yeah.
And So I got on and did a live and basically shared like what she was suggesting of, there's a few different ways that you can help me out. And, because you love the oils and, it's a shame not to share this. So I kind of laid that all out there. I had some people that were on there live, and then they had access to watch the recording as well. So I can tell that people have watched it and nobody has really taken action on it. Would you, if that were something that you did, would you personally reach out to those people that that engaged in some way on that live and just ask them like, hey, where do you see yourself?
Yeah. Do you have people like it, or do you know who viewed it?
Yeah. So I can see like there was certain questions that I asked throughout the video, and I was asking them to comment, like, what oils did you use today? And people were commenting stuff like that. So they didn't necessarily say, hey, I'm a 1 or hey, I'm a 2, like I see myself hosting classes, but they were at least engaged in the conversation. So
I would totally reach out to them. I would totally reach out to them and say, hey, I did this video last week and I saw you were on, like, where do you see yourself?
Okay.
When people like when people like things that we say about the business in our groups or whatever, or you see them commenting, that's like, that's a good way to know to reach out to them.
Okay.
It's like a Facebook, like, strategy, right? If someone likes your stuff, then that's like your sign that you can reach out to them, right?
Yeah. And then just as far as like what Rebecca said, struggling kind of to get people to host, I feel like in the past I was really successful with doing that by just kind of doing a text blitz and keeping it really generic, like, hey, I've got a great gift for you. But I feel like the more that you have been in this business and you've asked a lot of different people to host, and maybe they've gotten those messages in the past, you have to be a little bit more creative and keeping it personal to them. So I found that people that I've asked to host before, like I got new rollerball labels and just sending them a text with a picture of that and just saying, hey, I was thinking about you and thought that you would really love these rollerballs, and we could all get together and make one, and I could teach your friends about the oil. So maybe something that Rebecca could do is something with skincare, like they could make some sort of, I think what Dana was saying, like everybody gets to make one thing at the beginning of class, then she teaches the class, and then if they enroll, then they get whatever the other items were there. So having 3 different maybe face care items that they're making ahead of time, and then, I don't know, Rebecca, you could just have them, hey, if you enroll, then you can make the 2 other things for free tonight.
Right. Yeah, I feel like at the beginning when we started, like, people would just enroll, but now I feel like people like want something everywhere they go, as an incentive. And so I think that's great to have those different like roller balls or different things that don't cost us a ton of money, but people just like to be able to take something home. And so I think, personally talking to people about hosting events for you, but you do have to follow up with people a lot. And, I do diffusers because I get them free from the spa room, but whatever you can do, people tend to like those, if I do a class, but to get people to come to classes, you almost have to give something free away. It seems like, or something, have like a little incentive, something fun. And I don't really mind doing that because a rollerball costs me like $2 or something, so I'm totally fine with doing something like that. And so I think getting creative like that is good. And they do have the fun rollerball labels, and people just want that, people want something fun like that, That's good. And so Katie, I'm glad you did the live, but I think, take it the step further.
Yeah, I need to
do
personally reach out to those people.
Yeah.
I did get a couple of events that were just finalizing the dates that that they're going to do, but there was, I think maybe 10 people on there live. And then people that watched it later that I have not spoken to. So
right. And this goes for everyone. I mean, this, Rebecca, is your building too. Like, people are liking and commenting, like, reach out to them. Like, hey, that's your sign. Like, all right, I'm gonna send you a little personal message. They like commented, or they said something, or they like that. Like, oh, I saw you like my video the other day. Do you want to blah, blah, blah? Like, those are that's Facebook, Instagram strategy. Like, if someone likes it, does it, comment or reach out to them and see if they want to learn more, come to an event or something like that too. It's just, that's how you're building your word and building your business that way. Okay. Other questions that you need strategy-wise for where you are in this month and to where you want to get? I know some of you have December goals, but even October, November, December. I know time is always of the essence, right? It's always comes up, and as we get bigger and have things going on, there's more things to manage. I think you really just have to draw yellow lines of where you're going to do doTERRA and being very clear about what that is when you do doTERRA in terms of money-making activities, right? And I know a lot of us, as we grow and we're trying to be wives and be moms and do the things that we love to do, you just have to really draw yellow lines, I like to say, where we're doing our business and where we're not. And so, and when we are doing the business, is that we're doing enrolling, following up, getting classes, those types of things for our events. We know that a lot of people, they think they're doing doTERRA, but they're really not. They're just, I don't know what they're doing, but that's why the 14-day skill up tells them exactly where they need to do. It's calling and inviting and enrolling. And I think that in terms of in the business side, you just, people get this, it's a mind that kind of blocks them, right? And so when they start, I don't know even how to, when they start to, they have to almost feel like like they almost don't want to change their lives. Like some people, like they are kind of stuck in like kind of where they are, and you guys have to almost envision your life at a different level and know that, they kind of get stuck and complacent where they are, so moving to the next level. And I've even been challenged, like, about the business opportunity and saying like, okay, who wants to make $100,000 a year? Like even saying that, because it's true with doTERRA, like I'm looking for people that want to quit their corporate job and be able to work from home and have the time freedom and like put it out there, because I'm like, oh, do you want to get your oils for free? I'm like, that's how far I go. Like, whatever, that's not enough. It's like, okay, look what I've done. Like I've been able to quit my teaching job. I get double the pay of what I got when I was a teacher. Like, why don't we put that out more? If aren't those the type of people that you want with you, like that want to quit their corporate job and like make this their jobs? So we have to get out there and start putting that type of thing out there. And whether it's personally, whether you say like, hey, do you know anyone that's like looking to quit their corporate job but would like to come home? Because those are the kind of people we want rolling with us, right? We want people that are wanting to make the $100,000 a year. Do you want to make $100,000 a year? Everyone on this call? Yeah, we do. So that's who we want to find to come with us, okay? We don't necessarily want people getting their oils for free. We want people to come on and be making like a substantial income, right? So we have to put that out there and ask for it, whether it's, through Facebook, whether it's through Instagram, whether it's through personal conversation, and find those people. And I know people are like, I need to find builders. Well, are you putting that out there? Are you putting that vibe out there? Because then that's not for them. Then maybe do go to like get the oils for free. Like I don't give out samples. I just ask them to buy the oils. And if they don't want to buy the oils, then I say, oh, okay, maybe you can have a sample, because who wants to buy an oil when I just gave them my big sample? So it's really thinking about those things and putting out there for the bigger, greater. My coach was talking to me about that, and she's just like, well, you're really not putting it out there to find, the big people that want to really make $100,000 a year, right? So that was just a couple little offshoot nuggets of just thinking about us, because I know that's what has been brought up on the page a lot. I need to find builders. I need people that want to do this with me. And so the people that say that as their goals, they're the people too that we want to work with. All right. And then time again. Yeah. I mean, we all have the same 24 hours. So just got to figure out where to do it and where to spend it, and becoming more clear with that, and just making sure, like, I would encourage you all to kind of track like how much you're actually spending. Like just take a week and see like where you actually are spending your time and like what you're actually doing. That scares some of us to see what we're actually doing during the times. I think that'd be kind of like a cool activity just to kind of do between as a week, and just like look at where you're just spending your hours. Like, oh, okay, from this time to this time, I was just like on Facebook perusing blah, blah, blah. Or I was, I don't know, it's okay to have downtime, but like when we're really doing our doTERRA business, like what were we doing? Like 20 minutes before I got on this call, I was just following up with all my people. I enrolled 16 people last month. So I was like all right, you guys need a membership overview. I was following up with all of them. I was checking on all the people's LRP from the month before to see if they need to edit them. So I know, like, I almost do better like in 20-minute increments, you know? So just kind of knowing where you're spending your time. There's no wrong or right way, but just being aware of that. That's my suggestion on the discussion where people were trying to figure out time. It's not easy, folks. It's not easy. If it was easy, we all would be just sitting on the beach, scrolling, you know, just enrolling people on the beach. You know, it's not that easy, but it's doable. And I just encourage you to get your November. I mean, you guys should be working October, November, December calendars right now. I mean, you should just be booking stuff like crazy as much as you can. And, you know, I don't know, a lot of you are saying that you're like losing your classes. And so let's troubleshoot that just for a minute, because we have about 8 minutes. What is going on that you're losing the classes? Like, why aren't they having them?
So when we did Push for Gold, I got so many people to say yes, like during that challenge.
Right.
And for sure, some of the classes happened, but then the majority of those people, nailing them down, they've like drug on again and again, like, ask me next month, or no, I can, or now I'm moving, or nope, actually I don't need a class now. Or so I had this huge list from that challenge, and then all of a sudden it's been crazy, but then forget them.
Yeah.
My enrollment has been very low. I've only had like 1 to 2 each month. And I don't like that, but it's the truth of what it is. And so, yeah, I'm just in the middle of like figuring out again, like, what am I doing different? Because I hear you and Jen, you're insane freaking enrollment.
I think so. That's the one we went to.
Hold on, we're getting back. Somebody is up.
What about the Sheba? That has even better.
Okay, that was Tiffany. All right, that was my Tiffany. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, anyway, so for me, it's been that. And then all of my new people so far, it's just been like so hard to even get the membership overview. So then it's finally when I do meet with them, okay, do you want to do a class? Or they're not ready yet. So it's just been like low enrollments for me, which equals not a lot of new people. So yeah.
I'm just gonna interject. Jen Benassi and I can attest to this because we both just won the trip. And we had to call and follow up with people about 50 times to get them to do like the membership overviews and enroll. Like, it is so hard, you guys, but you just have to keep, okay, I mean, despite the people that said no, like you said, forget about them, but like, you just have to keep, I know it seems like you seem so annoying, right? You just feel like, oh, I feel like so annoying. But like those people that enrolled with you, it is our job to get them to get at least a membership overview. So just be super annoying and just keep asking them like, hey, this is my job. Like, my job is to make sure that you know how to use your oils and understand your membership. I always like to do it within the next 30 days. Like, when can I meet up with you? And just keep being annoying and keep doing it. They may not get on the LRP, but have incentives for doing so, okay? Because we know, like, when you get them on those first LRPs in the beginning, that a lot of times they stay on it, and you're missing out on, you did the whole hauling the bucket, you're missing out on the whole pipeline. So just the only advice I have is like, just keep being annoying and keep going after it for like the membership overviews. And as far as the classes, I mean, I think that happens a percentage of time, and I would just encourage, like, when someone books it, is just to keep the communication up with them and just asking them. I'm kind of annoying with that too. Like, okay, tell me about like how many people are coming to your event. Did you follow up with them? Like, I'm constantly like, you know, keeping in touch with them. And like, I'm really excited, you know, I'm going to bring you a diffuser, and just like kind of getting that almost like they're this in it with me now at this point. So they're going to do it.
Do you and Jen do your membership overviews online or over the phone, or do you do them in person?
All of the above. Like,
Okay.
I'm doing like a membership overview on Zoom tonight because I enrolled like 10 people from Alabama. So like, I don't know who's going to get on, but I'm just doing it, and we'll see who gets on.
So you're doing it like a group for all those people that were at that class?
I am. I'm doing it for all the people I enrolled, and I don't know who's going to get on it. If they don't get on it, then I'm going to have to personally reach out with them. But like there's 3 people tonight. It's like, I can't come, or can we do it this week or whatever. So I'm just doing it. Like do all you can to get that in and just be super annoying.
I haven't ever done any group, only because I like to actually log them into their LRP with them and have them actually start it. But it could be a good idea if you're short on time. I've done the Zoom chats, I've done FaceTime and a computer in front of them. I've done on the phone call and you pull up the Live guide while I pull up the Live guide and I just walk you through it. So I've done all of those. I've even had some of my downline help me if I'm short on time to call them, because I'd rather have one of them help me with them and then be in that window of excitement than me wait a lot longer. So that's kind of how I've been doing it. But I understand with the cancellations of classes, I had a lot of those. And when I was doing the challenge over the summer, let's see, I started with the Push for Gold, which was like the 90-day challenge, then did the Summer Success Challenge, which did another month, and then I was going for the trip. So I was like nonstop from May all the way to September. And I would say that I would probably schedule about 12 events, whether one-on-one or classes, and there was times where I'd only have 3 that were successful because the rest would cancel out, 2 or 3. So I just kept going, kind of like what Lisa said, but it can get discouraging at times, especially when you set up childcare, especially when you're meeting them in person, especially when you're all that kind of stuff. So I feel that it is hard focusing on your goal and also setting up some things that you can do. If there's a cancellation, what are you going to do at that time instead? So, because that was hard for me at the beginning. I just get so frustrated that I was like, gosh, everybody's wasting my time here. I have childcare, I have this, I have that set up.
Yeah. I just think, and I love it. I mean, if you have 10 classes and then you end up with 3, you have 3, right? So you go for those. So I think the more that you have set up, I mean, I think it's the nature of the beast, right? That, people do cancel. And when you have a class of 10 people coming, usually like 5, 6 come, right? But just be thankful for those people that come.
Yes. And I've even gotten really good at persuading people to keep their classes even if one person's coming.
Yes.
I would get a lot of people that would say, oh, I had 10 people coming, but 5 just canceled. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to have to reschedule. And I'm kind of like, no. Like, and I've told them, like, don't worry about it. I've got childcare set up. Like, I had this carved out on my calendar. I really want to be there. Even if it's one person, I think it'll even be a good refresher for you. And I think that that's kind of been a good thing, because at the beginning when I was teaching and setting up, like, I just say, okay, like, all right, we'll reschedule. But now I'm kind of trying to turn it around to try to keep that event.
I agree. And because when we first started, we would have 10 people in our classes, right? Because we were new. It was like our warm market, but it gets different, right? And so I think we know that even one person could be a huge influencer. So always encourage to keep going if there's just one person. But I really would think about your inviting and you're following up with the host. If it's not working, maybe thinking about a different plan for doing that. And we can maybe brainstorm that even more in the upcoming months. I know there are some things like Dana Moore has some resources for following up with hosts. doTERRA has some things as well. But I think that it's just, I think it's just like to the next step of being kind of following up annoying-ish, like you just have to go that extra step where you just it doesn't necessarily feel right, but it's like people need that these days because they're so distracted. When we started 5 years ago, I don't think people were as distracted as they are now. People are even more distracted, you guys. So they're not even seeing our invites. They're not even seeing it, okay? And so if you have their phone number, people do see texts. So I think that's the best way. Texts are viewed within like 7 seconds. So just thinking about the ways that we are talking to them and calling them, and just even being more, because people are so distracted by so many things, they're not even seeing things. So that makes us even have to be even more diligent about reaching out and connecting with people.
I'm looking for advice. Sorry to switch the topic before we go.
We have a couple minutes, just a couple minutes.
Quick question. Okay, so I have some builders and they're not having enough enrollments and growth, although they're trying to do all of this social media stuff, not working. I've decided I need to find new builders. I need to go back and go through all of, and kind of what Katie was touching base on, like customers that you already have. I have a lot of people who, when I asked them originally at a membership overview, are you interested in the business? They have said, yeah, maybe in the future, maybe. So now I'm looking back 4 years down the road, and I really want to readdress that. Is there anything that you would suggest? Because I get a lot of people who keep saying they're thinking the maybe because they're not quite sure if the time is right. Is there anything that I could say or do that could incentivize them to just try it?
I think I told you this before. Just set up a class with them. Get them, like, that's the best thing you can do with people is just get a class going and seeing what happens and then go from there. I think like a lot of times you just want to give them all of this stuff and do all this stuff about the business. Like just get them to host a class and go from there with them. Like, hey, I know you're interested in the business. Like, let's just get a class going. Let's get your friends together. Let's do this. And then have them enroll the people and get the check. You know, like, I just think we have to get people kind of started and going with things. I think we make it really difficult. So like, I know Tiffany's on this call and she was saying, oh, this person wants this and this. I'm like, host a class. And so if they can't even get a class and host a class together, then you know they're not ready.
Gotcha.
You know? So just host a class. I think Dana Moore is the one that even told me. I think I heard that. I hear a lot of advice from her, but I think she was the one that said that. Is like, she doesn't even work with somebody until they host a class.
It totally makes sense just because, you know, somebody might not be like when I was approached about the business, I wasn't interested in the business, but when somebody told me, hey, do you want to host a class? I'm like, well, I can't really lose with that. I'm not doing anything. I'm not having to teach anything or learn anything. I'm just getting people to show up. So it's kind of a win-win for that person, even if they're slightly interested.
Right. And that's what I do with my people. Someone told me I'm interested in learning about the business. I'm like, hey, let's just host a class together. Let's get some people together. And then you just kind of go from there. Good question. So try that with them. All right, everyone, it is up on an hour. You were awesome. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you see the movement that we're going. And I just really want to encourage you guys. These are the months to make it happen, okay? These are the months where you can grow. A lot of you have the foundations. I know. I don't know your organizations, but I know you. I know you have the foundations already there. Work with what's already in your teams. Work with all those customers and all those people. They're all going to help you get to the rank advancement that you need. So look what's already there and the foundation that you already have that's trusted you and said yes, and push forward to get more people and more volume, you know, going within your organization to get there, because these, like I said, these are next months. And if you don't get there, you're going to get pretty darn close. I assume you can get there, but you're going to get close and it's going to help you move forward too. All right, so our next call, if you want to schedule it, is going to be, we did put the calendar here as the 24th. We will, I think my coach that I'm working with is going to be on that call, and so she's going to be talking about a few things. There might be actually a little survey that you fill out before that call, so she kind of knows what to speak towards, but she is going to work with maybe some upper limit stuff with us, so we'll see how that goes. I think she's going to do the 24th. I got to verify. If not, it might be Dan from the main office. So you guys are awesome. You are the upper 20, right? You're upper 20. So we are going to spend time with you, but we know you don't need us that much. You can just keep going and doing your thing.
That's not true.
You don't. You can do it. You are upper 20. You need us, but you know what to do. We know you know what to do. And so we just want to be here to support you and hold you accountable and keep pushing you. And so look at your numbers, and by the next call, let's see where we're at, you know, because it's going to be the end of the month. So keep pushing to keep going. You just have to keep going every single day, which I know you do. All right, everyone, we love you. And I'm just going to stop the recording here, and we will see you soon. And get your people in those launch groups too. You can keep inviting everybody. All right.
Okay, bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.